So you walk into a car dealership. You've done your research, you know exactly what you want, and you're feeling pretty good about yourself. The salesperson shows you this beautiful car. Let's say it's $35,000. You negotiate a bit, maybe get them down to $33,000, and you're thinking, yes, I just saved 2 grand. You drive off the lot feeling like you just won at life. But here's what just happened. In the time it took you to drive from that dealership to your house, maybe 15, 20 minutes, you just lost somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000. Gone, just evaporated. And I'm not talking about the excitement wearing off. I'm talking about actual, real money that you will never, ever get back. And the crazy part? Everyone knows this happens. We all know it, but we do it anyway, over and over and over again. My name is Rihan, and I spend way too much time thinking about why we make terrible financial decisions with the second largest purchase most of us will ever make. If you're someone who's been conditioned to think that having a car payment is just a normal part of adult life, or if you've ever justified buying a new car because you deserve it after working hard, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we're going to talk about something that costs the average American literally hundreds of thousands of dollars over their lifetime, and yet almost nobody thinks about it as the financial emergency that it actually is. Here's the thing. We call it depreciation because that sounds boring and technical, and like something you learned about in a high school economics class that you slept through. But let me tell you what depreciation actually is. It's a tax. It's a tax that you volunteer to pay. It's a tax that nobody forces you to pay. But it's a tax that 85% of new car buyers in America happily line up to pay every single year. And unlike real taxes that go to roads and schools and, society, this tax goes to nobody. It just disappears. Poof, gone. Let me show you the math, because once you see this, you can't unsee it. You buy that $35,000 car. The second, and I mean the second you drive it off the lot, it's worth about $32,000. You literally paid $3,000 for a 15-minute drive. That's $200 per minute. I don't care how nice the new car smell is, that's insane. But wait, it gets worse. Oh, it gets so much worse. By the end of year one, that car is worth about $28,000. You've lost $7,000 in 12 months. That's $583 a month that just vanished. Now, you might be making car payments of, say, $500 a month and thinking, okay, that's not so bad. But you're not just losing $500 in payments. You're losing $500 in payments plus $583 in depreciation. That's over $1,000 a month that this car is costing you. And that's before we even talk about insurance, gas, and maintenance. By year 5, that $35,000 car is worth maybe $17,000 if you're lucky. You've lost $18,000. That's $3,600 a year. That's $300 a month. Just gone. And here's what most people don't realize. This isn't like paying rent where at least you're getting shelter. This is you paying $300 a month for your car to become less valuable while sitting in your driveway. It's like if your landlord charged you rent and then also charged you an additional fee for your apartment becoming crappier every month. You'd lose your mind. You'd move out immediately. But with cars, we just accept it. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Rihan, but I need a reliable car. I don't want to deal with used car problems. I don't want to be stranded on the side of the road. And look, I get it. I really do. That fear is real, and the car industry has spent billions of dollars, literally billions, making sure you feel that fear every single day. They've convinced you that a 3-year-old car with 36,000 miles on it is somehow a risky jalopy that's going to leave you stranded, when in reality, modern cars are engineered to last 200,000 miles or more. But here's the psychological shift I need you to make. You're not choosing between a new car and an unreliable car. You're choosing between losing $18,000 over 5 years or losing $9,000 over 5 years. Because used cars depreciate too, just way, way slower. Let me give you a concrete example with real numbers, because this is where it gets really interesting. Scenario A, you buy a brand new Honda Accord for $35,000. Year 1 value, $28,000. You lost $7,000. Year 2 value, $25,000. You lost another $3,000. Year 3 value, $22,000. You lost another $3,000. Year 4 value, $19,000. You lost another $3,000. Year 5 value, $17,000. You lost another $2,000. Total loss, $18,000. Scenario B, you buy a 3-year-old Honda Accord for $22,000. Year 1 value, $19,000. You lost $3,000. Year 2 value, $17,000. You lost $2,000. Year 3 value, $15,500. You lost $1,500. Year 4 value, $14,000. You lost $1,500. Year 5 value, $13,000. You lost $1,000. Total loss, $9,000. Same car, same Honda reliability, same feature set basically, but in scenario B, you saved $13,000 up front and you lost $9,000 less in depreciation. That's $22,000 in your pocket instead of evaporating into thin air. $22,000. Do you know what you could do with $22,000? That's a down payment on a house in many markets. That's your kid's college fund getting a massive head start. That's retiring years earlier. That's actual wealth building instead of wealth destruction. But here's where this goes from bad financial decision to life-altering financial catastrophe. And this is something almost nobody talks about. It's not just the $22,000 you lost, it's what that $22,000 could have become. Let's say you're 30 years old and you make this decision, new car versus 3-year-old car. That $22,000, if you invested it in a simple index fund averaging 10% annual returns, would be worth $153,000 by the time you're 60. $153,000. But it's actually worse than that, because you're not just buying one car in your life. Let's say you buy a new car every 6 years from age 25 to 65. That's about 7 cars. And each time you're choosing to lose an extra $22,000 compared to buying used. If instead you took that $22,000 difference each time and invested it, by the time you're 65, you'd have over $400,000 additional. $400,000. This is what I mean when I say this is a financial emergency. This isn't me being dramatic. This is math. Cold, hard, ruthless math. The average American millionaire drives a 4-year-old car with 41,000 miles on it. According to Thomas Stanley's research in The Millionaire Next Door, only 23.5% of millionaires have ever purchased a new car. Ever. These are people who can afford any car they want and they're choosing used. Meanwhile, people making $50,000 a year are driving brand new $40,000 trucks. Do you see the problem? Look, I'm not here to judge anyone. I really am not. But we need to be honest about why we buy new cars, because it has nothing to do with reliability and everything to do with how we feel. We buy new cars because we want people to think we're successful. We want to feel successful. We've been told we deserve it. We're afraid of looking cheap. We don't want to drive what our neighbor considers old. And here's the thing, those are all valid human emotions. I'm not saying you're wrong for feeling them, but I am saying that those feelings are costing you your financial future. Because here's what actually happens. You buy that new car. You feel amazing for about 2 weeks, maybe a month if you really love cars. And then it becomes just your car. It's the thing you drive to work. It's the thing you stress about when you hear a weird noise. It's the thing you're mad at when the payment is due. That $35,000 gave you 2 weeks of happiness and 70 months of payments. Was it worth it? Really? Now, let me address the biggest objection I always hear. But Rihan, used cars have problems. New cars have warranties. I don't want to pay for expensive repairs. Okay, let's talk about that, because this is where the car industry has really done a number on us. Yes, new cars come with warranties, usually 3 years or 36,000 miles bumper to bumper, and 5 years or 60,000 miles on the powertrain. Sounds great, right? But here's what they don't tell you. Modern cars are incredibly reliable. A 2022 study by Consumer Reports found that the average repair cost for a 3 to 5-year-old car is about $150 per year. $150 per year. That's $12.50 per month. I don't care how nice the new car smell is, that's insane. But wait, it gets worse. Oh, it gets so much worse. What about major repairs? What if the transmission goes out? Okay, fair. Let's say in year 4, something catastrophic happens, and you need $3,000 in repairs. That sucks. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't suck. But you know what? You're still ahead $19,000 compared to buying new. You could have three $3,000 catastrophic repairs and still come out ahead. And here's the dirty secret the car industry doesn't want you to know. If you buy a used car that's 3 years old from a brand known for reliability, Honda, Toyota, Mazda, the chances of you having a $3,000 repair in the next 5 years is less than 5%. These cars are built to last 200,000 miles or more now. We're not driving 1985 Chevys anymore. Now, let's talk about how car financing makes this problem exponentially worse, because this is where it gets really predatory. The average new car loan in America right now is $40,000 at 7.5% interest for 72 months. 72 months. That's 6 years. You're making payments on that car for longer than most people stay at their jobs. Let me show you what that actually costs you. $40,000 at 7.5% for 72 months equals $667 per month. Total paid over 72 months equals $48,024. Interest paid, $8,024. You just paid an extra $8,024 for the privilege of borrowing money to buy something that's actively losing value. So let's recap the total damage. Purchase price, $40,000. Interest paid, $8,024. Depreciation after 6 years, approximately $21,000. Total cost, $69,024. Value after 6 years, $19,000. You spent $69,024 to have something worth $19,000. That's a $50,000 loss. $50,000. And at the end of those 6 years, you know what happens? Your car's paid off, it's got 72,000 miles on it, and the salesperson calls you up. Hey, you've been such a great customer, you deserve an upgrade. Let's get you into something new. And you do it again, and again, and again, until you're 65 years old wondering why you don't have any money saved for retirement. This is the trap. This is the hidden tax, and it's not built into the car, it's built into your psychology. Okay, so what do? Because I'm not just here to depress you, I'm here to give you a way out. Here's the strategy, and it's so simple it's almost boring. Step 1, if you currently have a car payment, keep the car you have. I don't care if it's not your dream car, I don't care if it's boring, I don't care if your neighbor just got a new truck and you feel inadequate. Keep the car. Step 2, when your car is paid off, keep making the payment to yourself. Let's say your payment is $500 a month. Your car gets paid off. Instead of going, yay, $500 extra to spend, you take that $500 and put it in a high-yield savings account every single month. Step 3, drive your current car until the repair costs exceed the payment you've been saving. This is the key. You're not driving it until it dies, you're driving it until the math stops making sense. If you're putting $500 a month into savings and your car needs $1,200 in repairs per month to keep running, okay, it's time for a new to you car. But a $600 repair, fix it. Keep driving, keep saving. Step 4, when it's actually time to replace your car, pay cash for a 3 to 5-year-old car from a reliable brand. You've been saving $500 a month for, let's say, 3 years after your car was paid off. That's $18,000 in cash. You can buy an amazing, reliable, low-mileage used car with that. No payment, no interest, no stress. Step 5, start the cycle over. Keep saving that $500 per month. Because here's the beautiful thing. Once you break the car payment cycle, you never have to go back. You just keep banking that money, and every time you need to replace your car, you have cash waiting. You're never underwater, you're never stressed, you're never losing sleep over a car payment. And that $500 a month you're banking, over 30 years at 10% returns, that's over $1 million. $1 million just from not having car payments. Look, I know what some of you are thinking, but Rayhan, I work hard, I make good money, why shouldn't I drive something nice? And here's my answer. You absolutely should drive something nice if that's what you value, but let's be honest about what you're trading for that nice. When you choose the new $50,000 car over the 3-year-old $30,000 car of the same model, you're not trading $20,000. You're trading $20,000 up front $8,000 more in depreciation over 5 years, $28,000 in today's dollars, $195,000 in retirement money if you're 30 years old. You're trading $195,000 in your retirement account for 2 weeks of new car excitement and the feeling of driving something new. Is that trade worth it to you? Maybe it is. And if it is, if you genuinely think that driving a new car brings you so much joy that it's worth retiring 3 years later or working an extra 5 years, then do it. I'm not your dad. I can't tell you how to spend your money. But I can tell you that most people don't make this trade consciously. They don't sit down and think, I'm willing to give up $195,000 in retirement savings for this car. They just think, I want it, I can make the payment, so I'm getting it. And that's the problem. The average American has $88,000 saved for retirement at age 65. That's supposed to last them 20 plus years. That's $4,400 per year. Combined with Social Security, they're living on maybe $25,000 to $30,000 per year in retirement. Meanwhile, they spent $400,000 on car depreciation and payments throughout their working life. Do you see the connection? It's not that Americans don't make enough money. The median household income is over $70,000. That's plenty to build wealth if you're not hemorrhaging it on things that actively lose value. The problem is that we've been taught that having a car payment is normal. We've been taught that you're supposed to upgrade every few years. We've been taught that driving something older means you're not successful. These are lies. They're comfortable lies that make us feel better about bad decisions, but they're lies. The truth is that every dollar you spend on a new car is a dollar you're not investing in your future. It's a dollar you're not putting toward a down payment on a house. It's a dollar that will never compound, never grow, never work for you. It's just gone. Here's what I want you to take away from this. The car you drive doesn't make you successful. The choices you make about cars determine whether you'll ever become successful. Rich people drive used cars because they understand something fundamental. A car is not an investment. It's not an asset. It's a depreciating tool that gets you from point A to point B. That's it. And once you understand that, I mean really understand it in your bones, you stop caring about having the newest, shiniest thing. You start caring about having the most efficient tool that preserves your wealth instead of destroying it. I'm going to leave you with one final number, and I want you to really sit with this. If you're 25 years old right now and you commit to buying only used cars for the rest of your life, 3 to 5-year-old cars from reliable brands, and you invest the difference in monthly payments and depreciation, you will retire with an additional $800,000 to $1.2 million more than someone who buys new. $800,000 to $1.2 million. That's the hidden tax. That's what new cars are actually costing you. Not the $35,000 on the price tag, not even the $50,000 after financing and depreciation, but the $1 million you're giving up in your future for the fleeting feeling of driving something new today. So the next time you're at a dealership and the salesperson asks if you want to take that new car for a test drive, I want you to think about this video. I want you to think about that $1 million. I want you to think about retiring at 58 instead of 68. I want you to think about having choices in your life instead of being trapped by payments. And then I want you to walk out of that dealership, find a 3-year-old version of the same car for 40% less money, and drive that instead. Your future self will thank you. If this video changed how you think about buying cars, hit that subscribe button because I make videos like this every week about the psychological traps that keep people broke even when they make good money. And if you know someone who's about to buy a new car, send them this video. It might be the most valuable thing you do for them all year. I'm Rayhan, and I'll see you in the next one.